back to what you said about the beauty of, Instagram as well, if it's done in the right way, I feel like that's dating apps as well, right? Like if a dating app is done in the right way, even any dating app, and then you're on there to actually meet somebody and everybody's on there for the right reason, that's beautiful because you have all these people to possibly connect with. But it's the same thing. People are on there for nasty reasons or, wasting time. And it's like, if people harnessed technology in the right way, it would be so beautiful.
I heard a quote the other day and it was like, expectations are just unmet needs. And I was like, oh, fuck, that totally adds up because so many people, their expectations of a dating app are completely unrealistic. Like, let's call a spade a spade. It is an inorganic amount of people that you could meet in one place that are all single and of the opposite sex or whatever you're looking for, same sex, it doesn't really matter, in one little tiny tablet. You would never meet that many people in a day or a month or even sometimes a year. And so I think a lot of people, like when you're getting onto a dating app, it's okay to be excited and to want to something. But I think it's also this expectation that every single person that I meet on this app has to want a relationship with me and has to want to be with me.
Right.
And they can't differentiate the fact that they're like, or people have different dating needs. Some people are just getting back into it and trying to figure it out. Some people are very intentional, want a relationship. Some people just want companionship. So I think it's like both sides of the coin. It's how it's used. And then it's also like the expectations of the user that are going on them, because it's like going into the world and thinking everyone's nice. You're like, oh, you'll find out quickly that's not the case.
Yeah. And I think everybody on a dating app expects the person that they match with to be their husband or wife.
That's it.
And I think that's so terrible. Instead of just going on a first date with somebody and being so open to like, hey, I have zero expectation here. I just want to have a good time with this person, enjoy their energy, get to know them, get to know what they're about. And if it's great, let's do a second date. But I think men and women go into this first date of like, this is it. This is my person. And then they're quickly shut down because just statistically it's not going to happen. No. And then they're just so depressed and underwhelmed with everything.
Not to mention too, if you enter with that anxiety, if you step into it, where like you're two dudes, I'm sure you can tell me very easily that when you see a girl where you're like, whoa, it seems like she like needs me, or like her happiness is dependent upon if I ask her out or if I text her or if I'm doing that, that's a lot of pressure to put onto somebody else to fulfill your own needs. Because that's like usually what I like the number one thing I kind of drill into people's heads is I'm like, you can't go into the dating world expecting that person is going to heal you or fix anything. Because that is why people get into relationships and are fucking miserable still. Right. Because it's your own stuff that you need to figure out. It's that inner child or wherever. Trauma doesn't necessarily mean if you had a traumatic experience that it had to have been somebody hitting you or somebody abusing you. Trauma is a perception of an experience. So if that left a mark on you, like it could have even been, oh yeah, my dad just didn't pay attention to us when you were kids and he was there. He was always there, but he wasn't present. That could be traumatic as a child. Your needs went unmet. As an adult now, you're seeking every man that you meet or vice versa to fulfill that need. And then It's like this first date, it's this crumble if it doesn't work out, or like I got ghosted after the first date. I'm like, no, that person just didn't want to have a life with you, which is totally normal and okay.
Yeah. And I think to that point as well, people hone in on the one negative, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like you can go on a date with a guy or a woman and they're just so amazing. But there's like that one thing like, oh, he's not taller than me, or he didn't open the car door for me. And it's like, yeah, maybe ideally you wouldn't want the car door, right? Maybe like, hey, in a perfect world, I'd want him to open the car door for me. But because he didn't do that, now I'm stuck on that one negative thing. Instead of being like, oh, he's having great conversation. He cares about me. He's asking all the right questions. He's paying for my drink. That's beautiful. I think we hone in on negative things for some reason.
Oh my God, don't even start with me. It's like with the texting thing. The texting in the dating world is the bane of my existence half the time, because it's usually what I deal with most of my clients. And it's like, texting is not an indication of someone's fucking interest in you or what their intentions are with you. Yeah. Just because I have had it so many times, just because a dude texts you morning, noon, and night, that guy may have zero interest in being your boyfriend. He's just on his phone, or he's vice versa, is just because someone doesn't text you all the fucking time, or you don't get your good morning text, you don't get your good night text. Like, first of all, you don't know this person. You've gone on 2 dates with them and you expect them to now make you part of their life. The pinch doesn't match the ouch. The amount of time you've known this person doesn't match the amount of attention that you want from this person. Yeah. So it's like people get stuck on that one thing, and I'll always ask, like, well, what else are they doing? Well, yeah, I mean, he asks me on dates, and I'm like, how often? Like 3 times a week. I'm like, I'm sorry. This guy is asking you out consistently. He's awesome. The sex is great. Everything is great. But because he's not fucking texting you every single day and you can't challenge your own anxiety and sit in discomfort, you want to end it with this person? Because nobody wants, like, it's a big thing of we're like the Google generation. We need certainty. And I can't fathom going on a first date if I don't know I'll have like 7 more because I don't want to get attached. And it's like, so it's all the pendulum swings. You're like, either all or nothing. And it's been really interesting to see that, like, it's trying to get people to break because there's that perception of options. You don't actually have that many fucking options.
And I think people think they do.
They do.
People think, even on apps or in real life, oh, I don't want to commit to this person because I might walk across the street and I might meet like Angelina Jolie. It's like,
you're like, you, and I could win the lottery. It's like, but I'm not banking my fucking life savings on this.
Exactly.